Alright, ladies and gents, what up? It's your favorite Asian robot right here. And welcome back to my show, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day today, alright? Now, we're live once again on the First Descendant. Tonight, we're going all in on Harris. We're just going to finish up the last few things on her. We finished her Arche Tuning last time, but we couldn't get the trigger module, Steel Vanguard, to test it out, so we'll just do the best we can while also testing the Supermassive Receptor. And we're going to see how well she performs once I fully refine her gameplay, and of course her farming build will be out tomorrow. Grab your snacks, drop your builds in chat, and let's get right to work. Alright, let's begin, and of course before we actually begin we have to do Wall Crasher, because I happen to be starting at 11. So that means, Luna, it's your time to shine. Let's go queue for Wall Crasher straight away. Okay, tweets have been posted, and I have told my own Discord. Ding. So there you go, Rena. We're starting exactly on time, eh? Now, there's a poll that we are going to conduct today. Did I just get shipped into some scuffed run? I mean, sure, I guess. I do not mind, but what is this? Why did I get shipped into some half-done run? I mean, I don't mind, but lol. Greetings, Night Elf God. Baron, Austin, good to see you. Good morning to you too, pals. How's life? How's life? Hopefully good. Alright. I'll let my dudes pick up stuff.
New super chat received.
Okay, now, thank you, Austin, by the way.
We just want the big B's, what is you into? You ain't trying to hear it, it's okay though. All we know is gang and dinero. If you're trying to get it, then let's go, let's get it.
And hello, Stephen Heron. Is that your name? Good morning to you. Let me know what kind of music you want today, Austin. Alright, and I'll play whatever you'd like. Thank you so much for being the first super chatter of the day. Now, I have also started a little poll here because there's been, I don't know if you guys have seen the sort of preview of the patch tomorrow, but they basically, I think they're refining some of the content. Maybe the Supermassive Receptor is apparently too hard for people. So I decided I'd do a little poll today, see how people are feeling about this, you know, because why are they making these changes? Who's actually upset about this? Because I'm very, very curious, you know, I'm very curious. Hey, George. Hey, listen, that's okay. Grindy games are not for everybody. And Bizon, why do I need to press F2? I literally came in halfway through the match. Alteravash, you got it, pal. I only F2 if I actually need to see something when I'm into the start. If I measure performance halfway through, now come on, that's just sad. Okay. Now going back to this. There we go. Either way, George, you don't have to play TFD. You're just here to support me, okay? Remember that. Everybody should just be here to support me, not the game that I play. Nobody cares about the game that I play, alright? But yeah, grindy games aren't for everybody. I personally like grindy games, but I got a lot of time for them. Story games are nice, but they don't drive my viewership as hard as grindy games do.
Magister,
Builds,
probably
grind,
humanity
this is usually much more important.
Done.
For me, at least. Aha! My rifle is coming with me. Let me grab this. And this. And another hive master is on the way. Do you all know the way? I hope you all know the way. Okay, I'm gonna need more of the organic materials anyway, so we're gonna go grab some of that. Okay. Now then, while we get into the grind, I believe I owe Austin some of his music, some of his Altar of Ash. You know, if you're in a heavy mood, Austin, I'll play you a little bonus. I'll play you some of my new heavy stuff as well. Alright, let's go. Altar of Ash time. Austin is in the mood for the heavy. Oh, my day is good, Night Elf God. Can't complain at all. But then again, I do have to admit, my day is always good. I rarely, if ever, have any sort of trouble or problems. So life is good. Yay, full inversion energy. Okay, let me see. Everything is fine. Okay, this is all acceptable. And I will just shove the Hive Master over here. Just put it there. Yeah, sure. Please feel free to watch more. We got a new MMORPG coming this Saturday morning. It's called Where Winds Meet. I'm going to be trying that out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it'll be an interesting MMORPG, but, you know, I mean, because it's Chinese culture, Chinese wuxia history, you know, my kind of thing. So I'm down for that. You know, there'll be more Duet Night Abyss now that I've discovered Lynn. Oh my god, she was freaking godlike. By the way, thank you to everybody who's been turning notifications on. You know, I've been seeing some of the TFD crowd, like Night Elf God and the rest, all turning up to my Duet Night Abyss streams as well. So thank you very much for that, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in from my other streams. The day that we get to 200 viewers per stream, no matter what I'm streaming, guys, the cash giveaways will be coming. I'll be showing you guys how badly some people fake their viewership. So look forward to it because it's going to be hot. It's going to be amazing. All right. A lot of people don't realize how much YouTube pays in terms of ad revenues. So you can help your boy out just by turning up to streams. Turn those notifications on. Doesn't matter what I'm streaming. You show up, I'll show you love. All right. Hey, Joe. What up? Let's go get the Altar of Ash going. There it is. Those who like the heavy, it's coming. Baron's also gonna get a treat today because he's gonna love this.
Prison whose architect I have become. The mechanical key has rusted in the lock. A countdown echoes from a broken clock. In shimmering bison, throning on a pyre of sand. The hollow coronation of mud and red built in hell. My senses sing light in a nova of pain. I am the god of the dead song dancing in
Elias, deploying Arche.
I remember the sun on skin not so pale. Was there a voice before the serpent's wail? A ghost in this palace of beautiful decay, watching my own true self just wither away. Sweet Elysium is a gilded cage, just a single life on a crowd in shimmering bison, enthroned on a pyre of sand. This hollow coronation of mud and night built in hell. My senses sing light in a nova of pain. I am the god and the victim dancing in the nectar of ruin, my final communion on the altar of ash.
Hope you enjoyed the Altar of Ash. Now, I did say I've got an ultra heavy treat, all right? Today, I worked out I've started working on the ultra heavy Norse Viking album, all right? So, I actually need some advice on which version of this new song that I've come up with sounds better. So, since Austin is in a heavy mood and since Baron is here, I hope you guys will help me out with this song called Tyr's Last Stand. The lyrics, well, obviously you wouldn't understand them because they're in Icelandic, but the lyrics actually depict the final fight in Ragnarok, literally Tyr's last stand after Midgard's fall. So I have two samples of how the voice is supposed to sound and all that kind of stuff. One sample I think is clearer, sounds better. The second sample is heavier, but different. So, and one sample ended up like a minute shorter than the other. So yeah, I'll let you guys preview that soon. You know, while I'm in the supermassive receptor, and then you can tell me which one sounds better. Alright? So look forward to that. And hey, Chester, everything's going good today. Just chilling. Blood spilling. As per normal, honestly, nothing too strange, difficult, or fantastic. I'm just having a good time. Clearing my dailies with Harris. How about you? Are you doing good? Well,
Operation completed.
if you... Well, I don't know if it'll work for you, but either way, you can give your commentary. Like I said, I'm mostly just here to see how all the metalheads feel about it. For me, the main thing is that because this album is not in English, obviously, it's much more important to gauge how certain people feel about it so that we can see exactly whether or not it will be worth... Sorry, not worth, but rather if we can see whether or not people are really vibing with it or not. That's the crucial key for me, at least. Hey, Gerald, good to see you. Okay. Let me head back to town first, though. I need to... Well, Carl, ETA 0 offers free inventory slots usually every week on Friday, so make sure you get the vouchers to buy that up. But yeah, keep upping your mastery and you'll have more inventory space. Inventory is a big concern whenever you're first starting out, but eventually you'll get inventory slots. So as long as you play enough every Friday to get stuff, you'll be all good. In fact, I actually need to farm the silly red vouchers at some point. But I will do that at a later time. Maybe tomorrow. Because there's a lot of unfortunate farming that I have to do. I've got no choice on that. But c'est la vie. Sometimes we must accept life as it is. Okay, the Hive Master is now level 100. Yay. Alright, anyway, for those that like heavy music, or for those that don't like it anyway, too bad, you're gonna hear it. Let's go. I'm about to show you guys a sample from my new... I really want to call it Norse, but it's just Icelandic. Alright, my new Icelandic Viking album. Alright, it's ultra heavy stuff. But it is something that I have wanted to work on for a long time. I do want to return to Infected Carcass and pretty much the deathcore stuff, but that'll be another time in the later future once I have a lot more of the other albums sorted out. But this one, ever since we first created the first few tracks, we had to really roll with this one. Anyway, while we do so, ladies and gents, we will also be hitting up the Supermassive Receptor, at least until the next Wall Crasher. So look forward to that. Let me set my own timer so I don't miss the Crasher of the Walls. I don't feel like missing the Castle Crasher. Okay, let's go. Now, this song is called Tyr's Final Stand. Alright, again, like I said, represents what happens to Tyr toward the end of Ragnarok. And the rest of the album all basically... I know it's a bit typical, but I really wanted to cover everything that happens in Ragnarok in Icelandic. So here we go. Hello, Going Dark. Enjoy the music, people. Baron, I'll count on you to tell me how good it is, alright? Because you are the gourmet. And George, I hope you enjoy it. That was Tyr's Last Stand. Basically, it's, lyrically speaking, it's heavy, but it's also quite somber because, like I said, well, obviously he dies. The lyrics will actually be posted once the song is fully released so that y'all can translate it. But as far as I can tell, it's pretty accurate. Or it should be anyway. Now, let me catch up on chat before I show y'all the second version. Oh, come on. Look at this guy. Look at this thing, huh? Patton Flores. Flores! Oh yeah, actually, it surprised me how many people liked the heavy stuff. That's the whole reason I decided to actually do the album on it. At first, I actually did it because Baron wanted to see if I could create something that had like Amon Amarth vibes, but was, you know, with like really heavy in actual Norse. Now, while we couldn't write in actual Norse because impossible, we did actually manage to write in Icelandic, so this was the result. And after we managed to get a voice that sounded really good, the final result was actually this. So the band, we created the AI band Drengir Blut, and this was the result. Hey, Gino. But anyway, yes, quick catch up with chat. Gerald, you played for 15 hours yesterday. You went to work, get an Ancestor mod. Yes, you have to be Mastery rank, not 29, but 30. Some Ancestor mods are locked to Mastery rank 30, so make sure you guys get your Mastery rank up. Death Clock is basically the idea, yeah. And do your best to get a new system, Jester. I hope you'll be able to join us again soon. And Anthony, I'm liking the new Descendant. She's pretty darn awesome. So I do hope that a lot of people will like her build as well. She's pretty strong if you use her correctly. That is the goal. Now I'll play the second version of Tyr's Final Stand. Alright, during this run. It's shorter. It's about a minute shorter. But it's just as heavy. So I hope you guys will enjoy it. This is Tyr's Final Stand version 2. So that's the second version. Personally, I prefer the second version, although it's shorter, because I feel that it's a lot more aggressive. But if anyone's got any insight or thoughts, please feel free to let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed a little taste of the ultra heavy stuff. Now, to answer your question, is Harris faster than Glay? Depends on player skill, to be honest. And see you later, Chester. I will await Baron's judgment, but if anyone else wants to weigh in, please feel free to. Okay, here we go. Well, I pretty much thought the same. Because the first one, I liked that the pronunciation was clearer in the first one, but although I lose a bit of clarity in the pronunciation on the second one, it was just way heavier. And I felt that if I wanted, like, I'm trying to capture the emotion more than anything. And it is his final stand at the end of Ragnarok, so I felt, you know what? Yeah. Gino, I'm not the dev, man. You can tell me that. I agree with you. I actually posted on Twitter. I said, bro, why are you guys trying to make it easier? You know, and although you guys are voting against it, everybody seems to be complaining. No problem, George. I absolutely accept that train of thought as well. I'll actually be posting both versions for those in the family Discord. I'll be posting both versions there. Y'all can also let me know. No, it's okay. I'll post it up in the family Discord later tonight, so I can get a bit more feedback about which one captures the vibes a little bit better. So you guys can also commentate there. But thank you for your thoughts regardless. If it ends up that both are really good, I will do like what I'm doing for Cindervale's album. I'll post both versions in the album, but like one version, the better version, will be named like the studio version. Then the other version will be like a bonus track as an extended version or an alternative version. So I've been doing that for some of the albums anyway, and I think that's a great idea because it allows me to fill out my bonus tracks without cutting good materials. All right. Oh, sorry. You guys probably want to see the timing. So Harris is about 4 minutes, 39 seconds. So she can definitely go faster than Glay, but it depends on player skill because if you don't use Harris correctly, you aren't going to actually be able to get these kinds of timings with her. So just be aware that Harris is very much a skill-based descendant. If she is good, if you're good with her, right, you'll be all good. No problem, Ferris. I agree that the challenge is fine where it is, but unfortunately, the rabble-rousers don't agree. The game journalists don't agree, you know. I had one person come at me on Twitter and be all like, oh, you know, so you only want the top 1% to play the game? Apparently, you guys at my stream are all the top 1%. You should congratulate yourselves right now, all right? Let's get some applause for these people here. Because apparently, people who learn how to follow my content are the top 1% of gamers, guys. You got 2 brain cells. It's amazing. It's amazing, you know? It's nuts, but unfortunately,
Super chat received.
a lot of people are just wild. Hey, Gabak, thank you very much for the super chat. I'll play the usual jingle in a second. But, you know, although you got to make it to retain the casuals, there's plenty of content for the casuals to do. You know, I feel that there always has to be some endgame content, some casual content, because that is, you know, what logically works for all video games. So I don't know, man. I do agree with, you know, the casuals being included, but there's such a thing as too casual. You can't go game journalist difficulty, you know? Otherwise, these people will have difficulty in the tutorial of Cuphead. But anyway, game journals, am I right? Gabak, would you like some more of the heavy stuff? Let me know. All we know is gang and dinero. If you're trying to get Apparently, Robot Nation's always perfect at what we do. You know, we're the top 1% of gamers, all because we know how to read. It's incredible. You know, guys, reading, because we're able to do math and add two numbers together. Guys, we're the top 1% of gamers. Did you know that being able to do multiplication puts you in the top 1% of gamers, according to Twitter? My God, these guys are so wonderful. I love social media. You know, it really makes me terrified, not about the state of the world, but about the state of humanity in general. You know, because apparently, wow, 99% of gamers can't handle supermassive receptor, you know? They're pigeonholed into playing one character, except for the fact that the one character that they always claim is good can handle supermassive. Bunny can do it, Kyle can do it, Viesa can do it. Oh, that's right. Basically, everybody under the sun could do it. Huh. そうですよね。面白い. I tell you, I have no idea what goes on in some people's heads. And I have no idea why the devs are listening to these people. Like, who are they? Who are they? Are they professionals? Because I'm a professional and I disagree. I'm a professional and I say, what the hell are you doing? You are killing your own game. You want to kill your own game? You do this, okay? But hey, you know, it's their decision at the end of the day. I'm not a dev. I'm just the greatest human being alive, all right? Praise be to Space King. As well as the God Emperor himself tells me that this content is too hard, nothing is too hard. We as his sons and daughters are here to succeed. I mean, that's fair, but you know what? Harris can just punch her way through it. So everybody can literally just get my Harris build and punch their way through. Now, since Gabak says the heavy stuff is coming, okay. I had another song that I prepared. Scaldic flute. Actually, it's more pronounced like flute. But I can't get the exact pronunciation right. But this one is about the poet's sacrifice. It's a metaphorical ending to Ragnarok where the poet ends himself in order to begin the cycle anew. So I've got two versions again. I will play both. And I'll play the first version and then the second version. You guys, while I slay with Harris, you guys can let me know which is best, all right? So here we go. Prepare for Space King and enjoy Scaldic flute.
New super chat received.
Thank you for that super. right. That was the first version of Scaldic Blut. I will play the second version for you guys in a little while. Ferris, thank you very much for the super chat. I hope you enjoy the show. One thing which I gotta say though is that you really play Lepic here, because these enemies are resistant to fire damage. So if you're really playing Lepic, what kind of clear time are you getting? And are you playing solo? Because in terms, if you're playing in teams, fair enough. I guess he could be used as support. But I don't think Lepic could clear this solo in a good timing. If you can get below 5 minutes solo with Lepic, I'd love to know your build. Alright, because that would be a genuine achievement, considering the expected outcome of Lepic. So yeah, if you really can get 5 minutes or less with Lepic, or hell, even if you're around 5 minutes, you know, let me know. I'd love to see a solid Lepic build for this. And let me know what kind of music you want. Thank you very much for that lovely super chat. Alright, I appreciate that.
What is you into? You ain't trying to hear it, it's okay though. All we know is gang and dinero. If you're trying to get it, then let's go, let's get it.
Now, Harris is always about 4 minutes, 36 seconds, so she's pretty solid. My farming build for her will drop tomorrow. Tyke, please enjoy the wifey products. They're fantastic. Quality is very high. Alright. And last but not least, the last thing I want to comment on is the Knight Rider suits. I don't know. I don't know about any of the cash stuff coming to TFD because I'll be real with you. I have no interest in supporting this game commercially. I only buy skins when chat pays for them. And other than that, I do not actually want to support the devs until they prove to me that they can turn the game around, because this game is not doing well enough for me to bother. So I'm just going to be upfront and honest with that. Thank you, because your super chats, though, are going toward my rent, which these guys aren't paying anyway. So, you know, if they paid my rent, I would support them more, but they don't. So. If it's in a group, then that's fine. I mean, theoretically, he could be a support to pull enemies together. I guess that would be all right. That's one way I could foresee Lepic being used. But yeah, I'll be very interested only in solo timings, because I'm looking at what characters can completely clear this solo and at high speed. And of course, right now the hot topic is our new girl Harris. You know, because she is pretty darn wild. You know, I can't really mess around with female Kyle over here. She will take those monster energy drinks and basically ruin these enemies. Anyway, I'll be playing the second version of the song shortly, so look forward to it, alright? This is the second version of Scaldic Blut. Let me know how you guys feel about it, versus the first one, of course. The vibe is slightly different. All right. That was the second version. Rena, you prefer the second one? The second one had a bit more of closer arrangement, I guess, to just regular metal. It didn't just have the heavy only. You know, there's a bit of power metal, I guess, mixed in as well. But it turned out pretty well with the way the AI performed it. So if anyone else wants to weigh in, please feel free. Either way, I'll also be posting up in the family Discord, so you can let me know there as well. Thank you, by the way, Baron, for the lovely super chat. Praise be to Space King indeed. All right. Ferris, if you've got any musical preferences, let me know. Second version, okay, fair enough. Good to know, good to know. I like to know the taste of the public either way, so thank you for weighing in. All right. Now, if you got any type of music that you like, Ferris, based on what you know that I have or own, I'll happily play anything from my catalog or selection for you. All right. For those that want to support my music, you can find me on SoundCloud and on all major music platforms. SoundCloud gets my releases first, but then we also we release the albums on basically every major music platform. So play my music anywhere. It all gets me paid now. I'm actually a verified artist on Spotify and the rest. Oh, damn. Sorry to hear that, Baron. But okay, I think that for this one, for Scaldic Flute, the verdict is pretty unanimous on the second one. I guess I'll play an encore, but if you've got any other songs you want me to play, Baron, you let me know. All right? I'll happily play whatever you want for your super chats. Thank you guys for the support. Okay, now let's carry on. Hey, Ziggs. And just to answer what Darkness Devil says, yes, I'm aware that the game is already easy, but again, I don't know why the devs are continuing to listen to people that say it's too hard when we all know the game is not hard at all. So why the devs are catering to them, I don't know. It makes no sense. And the point stands that the game is already simple. And you're right, Austin. Haley can do this too. I can't wait to build her up after I'm done with Harris. Well, after I'm done with Harris's farming build, at least, I'm going to check out Haley's. I still need to work out Harris's bossing build, but for the time being, I'm going to slam that supermassive receptor. I really hate that we have to go and do the same activity over and over. It's very annoying. I really can't stand the fact that supermassive receptor is so-called the activity. Okay, still got 10 minutes. Very well then. The Metal Machine Requiem it is. How can I deny you, brother? Okay, let's go. Phew, almost went into public. Well, tell you what. I mean, it was a $10 super chat. I'll play Machine Metal Requiem, and then after that, I'll play the new stuff as well. The sword mission, no, it's pretty much the same. All right, more Harris time. And maybe I'll finally get Steel Vanguard. Doubt it, though, but we'll see. All right, here we go. All right. That one was for Baron. Thank you very much. And Mass Marco, that's completely fine, but here's the facts. If everybody had a proper build, there would be no problem. Do you know why it's a slog? It's a slog because other players refuse to make good builds. If you actually inspect their builds, you'll see that many of them are running around with unupgraded mods. They don't care about getting better. They're just here to make you carry them. That's why it's a slog. If they actually had a proper build, did you know that the scaling of this game is not linear? The end boss only has roughly 3 times as much health with 4 players, which means technically if everybody had a proper build, like say for example all 4 people had my Harris build, do you know that you could clear this in roughly 3 minutes or less? Yeah. The problem is nothing to do with the boss health in 4-man squads. There is no problem with the boss health in 4-man squads. The only problem is that people don't build builds. They don't care about builds. They don't watch streams. They just want you to carry them. So yes, while you can play with other players, here's a little experiment. If you actually recruit people through Party Finder and you check their builds, right? Assuming they all have proper endgame builds, they're not some yahoos who don't care about actual gaming quality, and they properly build their characters, this mission goes by faster than I can clear it alone with Harris. I just play alone to showcase this, but if any of my supporters stepped up, I'll tell you, we could literally blow through this mission like that. But my supporters are mostly at work right now. So that's kind of the thing. If people choose not to build, they go into public looking for the carries. Like, that's not the reason that content should be nerfed or adjusted. Because that's literally encouraging negative behavior from people that aren't gamers. These are literally bad actors. These are literally negative players who are here to ruin your gaming experience, and we're enabling them because we're saying, oh, you know what, if we nerf it, then more people can play it. It's not how it works. You know? I'm just concerned about that because at the end of the day, we're encouraging people to not give a damn and just do the wrong thing and get rewarded for it in a sense, you know? So I'm just worried about that, genuinely. I mean, my Harris's clear time right now is very consistently around 4 minutes 39, 4 minutes 35, occasionally 4 minutes 42. And this is with me mostly talking to you guys, chilling, or occasionally having to stop and play music. Like, if I can do this, and if you focus up, it's like, bro. Doesn't surprise me, Austin. So yeah, I think that if people actually... It's not a sponge boss, though. It dies if you have the proper stuff. Like, you can see how quickly I just wiped the floor with him. It's not a sponge. There must be some level of challenging content. As long as you know the mechanics... I mean, come on, he's got to have a little bit of hit points. He's not a sponge. He is hardly a sponge. He dies in a couple of sword swings. You know? I can't call him a sponge when he's not designed like that. Wall Crasher is only easier because everybody brings their overpowered Serenas there to clear it as fast as possible. You know? But here, all the overpowered people, they just play alone because there's no sense in playing together with people, you know? Anyway, here's the second version of Scaldic Bloat again, since you guys enjoyed it. Let's have an encore for Baron. But anyway, look, I just hope you guys understand where I'm coming from.
Stadsbranden jagar dem lägger satt. Skadens
All right, now I've got to rush this and finish it off so I can go to Wall Crasher. But look, at the end of the day, you know, what I have to say is that... Oh, and you're right about that, Austin. Yes, Ultimate Luna does beat out Serena. I mean, that's how I've been winning the past few times, but, you know, I'm still happy about that since I'm an Ultimate Luna fan. But anyway, look, at the end of the day, I don't think that public matchmaking or public play will be resolved by making content easier. No. In fact, they should make the requirements harsher. They should make it so... See, the reason why all of us high levels don't want to play in public is because it's slower. Why do we waste our time? If they made it a requirement, so for example, let's say before you can actually go into a public match, you have to have every mod slot filled, characters fully catalyzed, arcade trigger modules unlocked and everything. If they forced a check like this, right, I think a lot more people would actually bother joining in the public matches. Because they could be assured that, hey, at the very least, look, if they want to make a bad build, they can. But if you force a check like that, then everybody has to be good. So those who want to leech and, you know, those who want to play badly, they won't even be allowed in. And in that way, if you want to play together with people, you could be assured that whoever's in there is up to snuff, at least to the basic extent, right? And that, I think, would give people faith in the public queue, rather than trying to force a situation. Sorry, I gotta rush to Wall Crasher. Rather than trying to force a situation whereby you keep making new tough content, new challenging content easier simply because your players don't want to actually play the game. All they want to do is just walk into the lounge, rub 3 out, and then maybe play around in some easy-ass mission for 3 seconds. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Either they decide they want to make this a serious game, or they just want to, you know, go around and have this be a Ultra Gunner game. They have a choice. They can make that choice. All right, if they want to go Ultra Gunner, then they may as well put AI text romance chats in the lounge so that we can all go in there and romance our favorite descendants. They could do that. Or they turn this into a serious looter shooter, take a few tips from Duet Night Abyss on making content non-repetitive and fun, and then, yeah, hell yeah, that we could roll with that. A week before Season 3? I think it's because you followed the wrong guides, Vexon Divine. Do you have my Ultimate Bunny build? If you have my Ultimate Bunny build fully built up, and you followed all of my builds, you should have been able to blow through Axian Plains within 3 weeks. It actually doesn't take that long. Challenge 1 to 5, just use Ultimate Luna. Mr. Yosef. Have you got my Ultimate Luna build? Because that's all you really need. Use my Ultimate Luna build and you can blow through it. I also have a full walkthrough, although it's fairly old from previous seasons, where I showcase how it was done with several characters. However, Ultimate Luna can just blow through it. So make sure you build my Ultimate Luna build and have fun. Void Purge Challenge is a joke right now. But sure, one of these days I'll showcase a build that goes through it, because why not? It'll be funny, probably. If they have everything and still struggle, then hey, that's their own problem, you know? I can't do any more than that. I can't cite any more than that, but I have already given them all the tools, you know? All they need to do is follow. But yeah, for Vexon, please let me know. 1.2 billion damage, and that was because the Harris was debuffing, which is really, really awesome. But you think about that, in just 40 seconds, with a proper build, I just did 34% of... Oh yeah, Nell can also blow through the whole thing. Blow through the whole challenge with no difficulty. Yep. So yeah, just as long as you have my build, my Nell farming build will do the same thing, dude. If you don't build my builds, then the problem is literally you. If you choose not to build my builds, you will struggle. You build my build, no problem. Your choice, people, at the end of the day. But yeah, for Vexon, if you have my Ultimate Bunny build, you should have been able to blow through most content within 3 weeks. Unless you struggled with 1 or 2 of the factors, but at least the mods would have allowed you to farm most of the other stuff. Then after that, you could have got the Arche Tuning and things like that. So Axian Plains should not be any trouble because especially, you know, if you already have like at least the mods, the components, and the Arche Tuning, Bunny should be able to clear most Axian Plains missions. So, have you been following my guides consistently? Have you been grinding consistently? If you have, then you should have no troubles. If not, then we'll have to figure out where you went wrong, because you should not take that long, especially if you played an entire season, because each season is about 3 months. If you played an entire season, but you're just barely able to do Axian Plains, what happened? Did you quit for some time or something like that? Oh, hey, I got the new come on emote. Lol. Lol. Okay, let's go see how it looks now. Let's see the maximum goon. It's time for the maximum over goon. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Let's over goon right now. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yes, this is exactly what I thought it was. You know how it is, Rena. You know how it is. Everything that can be explained, unfortunately, needs to be explained. There's simply no way around it. It is the way. And I still don't have Steel Vanguard. Jesus Christ, you kidding me? It is true to Bayonetta. But damn.
Ask me anything about modules.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, if you took a break, that's understandable. I'd be worried if you played 3 months straight and only barely got to Axian Plains. Just make sure you're following the build videos, Vexon. Make sure that, you know the best activities. If you don't know, then ask. Well, fair enough. If you chose not to do that, then, well, it's your own choice, and hey, I can't help you if you want to be slower at what you're doing, but Ultimate Bunny would help a lot. You'd be surprised, Rena. Sometimes they do turn up, so I'm actually okay with people citing that stuff. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. Yeah, I actually agree with that one, because you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. You know what? Let's do something fun for a little bit with Harris. Just because I can. Alright? Let's do something fun with good old Hariyasu. Where is my piercing light? There it is. Okay. Mr. Sigma, that is quite literally impossible, sir. You have a target farming system, and Harris's blueprints drop like water. So, I have, like, multiple pieces of every single one of Harris's things. So, if you've done over 200 runs and no piece of Harris dropped, that is a literal impossibility, unless you're running the wrong thing. Harris's pieces only drop in the supermassive receptor, sir. So, if you're not running supermassive receptor, you will not be able to acquire Harris's parts. Make sure you target farm, and you should be good to go. Oh, some random knows me. Well, sure. Enjoy yourself, Vexon. Where am I going? Ah, there it is. Oh, challenge is here. Whoops. Okay, let's use Harris and just see what happens. Let's see if Harris can handle. If the Haryasu can handle this. I'm intrigued now. It's money, dude. Everyone knows Luna can. The point of an experiment is to test and to learn. Right? There's no point in me in telling people that Luna can because everybody knows that, sir. The whole purpose of the experiment is to see if Harris can.
Alright, let's blast it to pieces.
I do need to maintain my buffs a little bit, but he seems to be doing okay. Just gotta laser a couple of people. Easy breezy. Well then, look, I have no idea what to tell you, Mr. Sigma, because if you ran enough to target farm the item you want, you will get it regardless. So that means you haven't been target farming. Everyone should be using the target farming system, sir. There is no excuse for not getting drops that can be target farmed, because you cannot blame RNG when they've literally given you a pity system. Yes, that is exactly your issue. Never forget about any system in this game, sir. That's why I encourage people, don't miss my streams, tune in all the time, especially when new content drops, because we farm it live, and we'll remind you about stuff like that. Most of the time, people's suffering is caused by themselves, not really due to any bad system. I do agree that systems are bad, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, most of your suffering is caused by you. So make sure you don't cause your own suffering, dear sirs or ma'ams. Ensure that you properly use the systems in the game, you'll be okay. Turn notifications on, support me no matter what I'm streaming, alright? And not only will you receive more content that'll help you out, but you'll also get more information about this game as well. I went the wrong way. What's the percentage for each completion? I don't know. I got every blueprint in an hour. Because, like I said, the materials are much more of a concern. But either way, I would say 10-15 runs would be about where you need to be. Assuming you only target one piece, FYI, which should be the case anyway. But if you target just one piece, 10-15 runs will get it for you. And even if it was at most 20 per run, that's still 60 runs. It's not that long. Good. Study my vids and you will all do well. Fail to study my vids and I can't help you there. God, this thing is so easy now. I'm like doing this at a relaxed pace. And Harris is just murdering her way through it. Well, at least now you know the channel that you should be watching. Watch me consistently and you'll never have a problem. Whoa, holy hella lag. I guess they still haven't fixed the shader compilation in this area. It's been a problem since the last time, but oh well. Now look, I'm also going to say this straight to everybody. A lot of you guys have been tuning in, like Night Elf God and a lot of the other people. You guys have been tuning in for my other streams as well. Look, I'm going to say it straight. A lot of people, they expect me to give them knowledge without supporting all the stuff that I do. So please make sure you guys turn your notifications on. Even if you're not interested in the game that I'm streaming, turn my live stream on. Help me out. If we can reach 200 viewers per stream, no matter what I'm streaming, alright, for all you new people, I'll be doing cash giveaways once we get there. So, all I ask you is to hit the bell button, turn notifications on. You don't have time to watch, that's fine. Leave it at 1 pixel of sound, just let the stream play, let the ads go. Alright, I get revenue, you can do whatever you want and my channel will be supported. All right, regulars who support the channel will receive benefits in future. So please and thank you, everybody who helps me out with my career. Just know that I'm very grateful. This is the new system because YouTube has really been pushing ad revenue, and I want to push for it as well. So if you guys help me out no matter what I'm streaming, expect better content. All right, not only that, expect better quality content and more frequent content as well. All right, so thank you to everybody who's been helping me out lately. I'm really, really honored that several of you have been tuning in for my other streams, for my other content. It's a blessing. Thank you. And for all the new people, that's what we're pushing for. If you decide to help out, I'd be very grateful.
Ready? Attack! Attack!
No idea what bundle you're talking about, but if you have an idea for a bundle, although pay to win is kind of sad, you can deliver it in the official Discord. And, you know, if the devs like the idea, they might create the bundle. I mean, if they can sell something, they probably will. Given how starved they are for cash.
My shield's gone.
Alza Rogue actually does devastating damage. Okay, fair enough. At least now I know. I can still probably laser him. Oh, a mass crafting. They'll never release that. People have been asking forever. I think he means mass crafting of resources. Yeah, that'll just never happen. They are very much against that because they want you to spend time on their game. So how long did she take even with double failures? She only took, like, if I didn't die at all, she would have only taken 6 minutes. Damn, Harris is good. So you can, so anyone that's concerned, you can just take my Harris farming build tomorrow and blow your way through all this. If you're worried about challenge mode, clear it with Harris. Everything can be done with Harris. Yeah, it is, but that's why I ask people, why do you guys bother buying skins to support the game when you could be supporting a streamer instead? Because I'm the only one keeping this game alive for you guys. So support a streamer, don't support the game, unless you're that desperate for skins, but, you know, even if you have the skins with no content, most people will be lost, so think about that before choosing where to spend your dollars. At least you spend on me, I'll do videos for you, I'll make content worth your while. Spend on the game, you get a pretty skin, and then suffer. But if you want to suffer, I'm not going to stop you guys. Think about it, though. Alright, next round. Let's see what Hariyasu can do. Alright, here we go. Ooh. How dare this barrier stop me. Oh, you can't use hover bikes here either, can you? Alright, let's go. Well, thank you, but please don't mention Warframe here. I respect that you like to play that, but if you mention Warframe here, we get a lot of trolls on our channel, so... yeah, please don't ever mention that game here. Thank you. If not for the ultra-hyper-toxic community of Warframe players, or their fanboys, rather. I shouldn't blame all players. If not for the hyper-toxic fanboys, I wouldn't have to do that. So please don't ever mention it on a TFD stream. Thank you. I also really want to respect that game, but I cannot simply because their fanboys are some of the worst human beings that I've ever seen. Like, if they weren't horrible people, I might respect the game. No, I agree fully with you, Austin. They could. They just don't want to. And it's silly because you're literally trying to keep your players prisoner, so it makes no sense. If not for all the problems that Duet Knight Abyss had at launch, Duet Knight Abyss would be annihilating this game right now, even though they use several systems that we have already gotten past, you know? Like, for example, the whole amorphous material system. They have their own version of that. And surprisingly, it's still working for them.
Or die. Come and get attack! Destruction core.
No, it's certainly not bad. And Duet Knight Abyss has implemented it in a better way, either way. Like, their secret letter system, I don't ever feel like it costs me like 20 amorphous or 20 runs to get something. You know, I always get whatever I need within 10, 15 runs. Like, the best is like 7 runs. The worst is like 15 runs. It's been so easy getting all the new items and equipment just playing one session a day. I mean, there are some bottlenecks, but this game had them too, like when I had to farm gold and stuff, so it was all like that. So yeah, Duet Knight Abyss is doing nothing different that TFD is doing, but somehow their systems are just a lot better. I think they chose the best possible systems and worked on that. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Sigma. Look, I don't understand it either. I was just happily enjoying my TFD, but every single time in the past when the other game was brought up, you know, some fanboy would come in and say, oh, why are you playing this Gooner slop? I mean, yes, we get it, it is. But, you know, just because you love your game, if you're super toxic about it, doesn't make me want to try your game. It just makes me hate you as a human being. So, yeah, unfortunately, the fanboys for that other game have just made me despise the WF game. So I've literally told everybody who's asked me, will you ever make builds for that game? Will you ever play that game? I said, no. I will never in my life touch that game. Well, unless they offer like a significant amount of money, though I don't think the devs would ever do that because they don't need me. But I would never ever play that game of my own volition. Like if it was of my own free will, I would never play that game. Like legit never play that game. That's how bad those people were. 4 minutes for the challenge stage 2. Damn, Harris is good. I like this. Harris be slaughtering. It is what it is. For me, at the end of the day, it's why I say fanboys are bad. No matter what game you play, if you're a fanboy of the game, if you're a fan of the game, don't even talk about it. You know, you just make everything worse. That's why like whenever somebody comes up and acts like a fanboy for anything, even fanboys of this game, I shut them down straight away, because when you act in that manner, you don't make things better. You just make everyone hate you. And in my personal opinion, there are already enough problems without fanboys making it worse, you know? Okay, let's go this way. Combining modules is the way, Vexon. It always has been. I myself never farm modules. I just go do an activity, right? Then I'll just take the modules I get and just combine until I get what I don't have. Like, that's how I play TFD. I literally refuse to farm a single module because it always feels hyper pointless. Like, I feel it's such a bad system when they force us to do that. I'm like, nope, I refuse to interact with your shit system. I will simply go and just combine. And lo and behold, combination works. Combination is the one system I truly respect. That is my system. That is my favorite system. All right, guys. Sorry to ask this, but, you know, I say we should probably can the topic about other games. Either way, this is a TFD stream, so we should probably focus up on TFD instead. I respect all your points of view, though. But yes, either way, as a professional and as a content creator for this game, yeah, let's refocus our discussion. And no, don't worry, I don't take it as a dig toward me. Mostly because I'm not a complainer at the end of the day. I don't complain. I criticize, yes, but that is literally my job as a content creator. I'm here to offer critique, knowledge, insight, and information. So don't worry, I don't take it as a dig against me. But we should probably focus up on TFD-related conversations instead. Hey, Ruby, how's it going? You're up at an awkward time again. Haven't seen you in a few days. You've been doing good. Thanks for respecting that. Instead, the only topic I will say is that I hope more of you guys will, once again, look, I'm going to harp on it every single time. I hope more of you guys will hit the notification bell button for me. Come tune in when I'm streaming some other games as well. Not only will you get the chance to see something different, but you'd really be helping me out if you attended my live streams other than TFD. Alright, so please do hit the notification bell button. And for those that truly support the nation, oh wow, 3 minutes 40 seconds. Damn, Harris is killing it. I'll see you guys at some of my other streams too. Gave everybody the heavy sword? They didn't give us anything, did they? I don't think so. Not in this game, anyway. Streams are good, as always, Ruby. Can't complain. Yeah, they didn't give it to us in an event, brother. And no, I will never, ever touch Twitch. Ever. Twitch is one of the worst platforms if you want to actually make a career or a serious living doing this. Twitch does not pay its streamers well at all, except for the super high-end people that are carrying the damn platform. YouTube is much fairer, so I only stream on YouTube. The only way I would stream on Twitch is if they gave me a separate contract that said, hey, we'll pay you so much to stream on our platform. In which case, sure, I'll do that. I wouldn't mind doing that. But that would never happen. You know, because I'm not big enough for Twitch to even care about me. So there's no worry about me going to Twitch. And I'm sorry, but yeah, we really don't like Twitch here. Genuinely, Twitch is terrible. They do not care, and their ad revenue program is so shit that I'm like, bruh. Because I can make a living just doing this with the low viewership on some of the games that I play. You wouldn't be able to make a living on Twitch doing that. So no, YouTube all the way for me. Plus, my YouTube streams can go up to 1440p 60 FPS if you've got the internet power to handle it. You can see my streams in the highest possible quality. Make sure to adjust the quality yourself, and you will enjoy it. Yeah, there might have been an event like that, I think. I can't remember it, but yeah, it sounds familiar. You might be right. Yeah, maybe. I genuinely don't care about events or rewards from events, to be honest. And listen, I would never touch Twitch with a 10-foot pole. Like I said, the only way I'd go over there is if they paid me a significant contract. Well, another tip that I will say, OGHQ, is that if you ever want to make content, number one, never ever mention that you're a content creator or that you're planning to make content on somebody else's stream. I'll help you remove that message. The reason is because you don't want the reputation to follow you. that you're a clout chaser. Because a lot of people do. I had this guy come in the other day, right? You know, I had this guy come in the other day and he was all like, oh, I stream on this and that and the other. Ban the guy in seconds. And every single person in my chat's going to say, hey, isn't that the guy? You know, people will recognize you. They're going to think of you as that guy that goes around to other streamers chasing clout. So always be very careful of that. All right? Even if you plan content, never ever mention it on somebody else's stream or in the comments of their video. All right? If you do that, you look like a clout chaser no matter what. No matter how people try to justify it. And a lot of people will bullshit you and say like, oh, it's just networking. You know, I just want to know other people. No. I don't watch other streamers' content. I don't interact with other streamers. I refuse to even know other streamers. And I'll tell you one reason why. Drama avoidance, number one. No scandals, no drama if you don't know other people. And number two, if you engage in beef, like other creators talk shit about me all the time. I don't talk shit back by name. I do mention that there are some creators that do very unscrupulous things because I know who they are. But I never mention them by name to stay drama free, because I'll tell you one thing. The second you get involved in drama, it's a problem. So the cleanest way to be a content creator, build your own community, find your own audience, never mention anything about yourself to other people. If you need to ask things, if you need information, be willing to pay for it. Approach people, ask them to coach you for a fee, if that's how you have to go. However, you can learn almost everything that you need for free if you've got the determination to do it. But remember, never ever ruin your reputation. And more importantly, rather than saying make friends, the opposite is more true. Don't make enemies. Don't make enemies. Or rather, stay out of it, you know? I'm loving Harris, BFU. She is very, very strong. I'm just kind of blowing through the challenge, the Void Erosion Purge challenge, because she's so easy to do this with. It's hilarious how funny she just blows through everything, blasts through everything. It's awesome. Anyway, no problem. Happy to give an honest perspective. Look, my way may not work for everyone. I know there's dozens of Twitch people, and this is the last thing I'll say on the matter. They love networking. They love raiding each other, you know, feeling up each other's balls and stuff like that. Hey, if that works for them, good for them. But I want to tell you guys something. Did you know that I'm close to being one of the top 2,000 gaming channels globally? Yeah, funny how that is, despite the fact that my viewership is nowhere in the hundreds, huh? I guess authenticity really pays, huh? Anyway, that's all I'll say on the matter. You guys can come to your own conclusions. At the end of the day, no one can tell you what the correct pathway is. You got to discover that for yourself, and you got to walk your own path. Haley will be done after Harris is done, JN. Look, you got to understand. I work at a very slow pace because I like to test everything thoroughly. You'll never see me jump the gun, so I'm sorry. You'll have to wait for any judgment on Haley. Quality over quantity here. So my apologies for that, but the wait will be worth it. And the Dew Sword, yes, the Dew Sword is finished. I'll be providing you the build for the Dew Sword together with Harris. And if people need a separate video for the Deus Ex Manus, I'll provide a separate video as well to go into detail into it if you want. But if not, then I'm just going to skip that because I don't want, unless people really, really need it. But I will show you, I'll happily show you what I've got with Harris. Oh, this is Alzarok. Whoops. I forgot it was Alzarok. Oh, bastard. God, I hate this guy. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of a cheap trick here because Alzarok is a dick. Aw, damn it. I don't compare swords, Mr. Sigma. The Manus just serves a purpose. Never ever compare weapons. There's no such thing as this weapon is better than the other weapon. It doesn't work like that here. Alright? It may work like that in other games, but I'm going to tell you now, it doesn't work like that here. And there is a reason why. Different weapons are suitable for different characters. In fact, Duet Knight Abyss uses the exact same system. So for anyone that's also interested in that game, same thing there. You actually cannot compare two weapons. It does not work that way, and it will never work that way. Because for some bosses, if the element is suitable, right, the Manus is going to be better. For other bosses, if the element of, say, the Shadow is better, just saying, then you could actually end up getting better results with the Shadow simply due to the fact that the element is more suitable. This game kind of works in that fashion. Elements tend to matter a lot more than people think. Sometimes even more than just the innate bonuses of the sword. Now, the Manus, of course, has the big super slam, so I don't know if that'll always hold true, but it's hard to really compare swords in that way. So just be aware of that, and just be aware that we don't do those kinds of comparisons here. Because it's much more important that you have a weapon that suits your build, rather than a weapon that you think is a better tier or a higher meta or better in some way. Like, there's people that make tier lists. Have you ever seen me make a single tier list? There's a reason why I don't. Because I don't bullshit my audience. So please be very, very careful of that here. Especially with weapons that have elements, you cannot truly make an objective assessment because every enemy has their own resistances to certain elements, and therefore different resistances will play a factor into what is actually most effective. So please do be careful before making that judgment. God, I hate this stupid map. Okay, this guy's dead. The next ultimate descendant is Eugen, and they've announced him since a long time ago. It would never be Jaber. But Jaber is very good now. I don't think he's not a meme. He's in fact one of the toughest characters alongside Kyle. Well, toughest male characters. The ladies still blow most of the guys out of the water. Ha 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 ha. But all terrible jokes aside, yeah. The guys, Jaber is still one of the better ones. Harris is very good. Use her with my farming build and you'll have no troubles with pretty much anything. She's a dead solid character, I'll say that much. But maintaining her abilities can be a bit annoying in some activity because you have to maintain all three of her passives. Not quite as easy as I'd like it to be in some circumstances. Why is there this weird lag? It's so silly. Hello, Kiri. Have I tried out the new ultimate mods? Rep? Yes, actually. I have tried out one for Harris, one that makes her pretty decent when it comes to farming. Bossing might be a different question, but that'll be another time. Sure, BFU, I can see that you are a disgusting individual. Nah, just kidding. You can goon as much as you like. I'll only judge you every 30 seconds. Anyway, once more, I'll be saying it as often as I can and forever, pretty much, ladies and gents. If you haven't already, please make sure you turn my notification bell on. All right, even if you're not interested in the game that I'm streaming, so please attend some of my other streams. All I'm asking you guys to do is attend it, leave the sound on 1 pixel, You can, and don't mute the tab, obviously, adds on. You can go do your other stuff. You can even watch other people. But if you are willing to help me out by just throwing me on whenever I'm live streaming, no matter what I'm live streaming, not only will you be helping this channel grow, but I will be able to provide more content for you. And if we ever get to 200 viewers, no matter what game I'm streaming, all right, we'll reach a point where I can literally give you guys cash giveaways. So do consider it, do think about it, and thank you to everyone who does that. I'll be appealing continuously for people to do this so that I can get more people on my other stuff as well. And this will also get me more sponsored deals from devs. So if you guys keep my notifications on, just know I'm eternally grateful to you guys right now. Hey, Lewis. Oh, you will love Harris. Harris is very, very good.
Moving out. Shields down. Eat this. Shield. Attack! Or die. Or die. Attack!
Yes, it is. Harris, in general, is a savage. I mean, have you heard how violent she is? Who else says attack like this? Only Harris. Huh.
Alright, let's blast it to pieces. Ready?
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Eat this. Down. I'll blow it up. Attack! Target in sight. Energy released. I can do it. Shield. You're done. This is for the I can do it. Eat this. I'll go first. Alright. Blast it to pieces. Attack!
It's okay, Aldor. Nothing wrong with missing a stream or two, as long as you show up. As long as people show up, you know, everybody's gonna miss a stream or two at some point, man. You show up regularly, that's more than enough. Well, thank you for that. But honestly, just show up when you can, buddy. Alright. We cleared all the challenge modes with Harris. So easy. This girl is so damn strong. Anyway, her farming build I will drop for you guys tomorrow, so please do look forward to that. She is dead solid. Now that I'm done with that shenanigans, How long to wall crasher? 15 minutes. Okay, I'll just set a 15-minute timer. Because I don't want to miss the wall crasher. Okay, I'm going to go to the washroom. And I'll come back and mess around with a couple other things. So, BRB.
New super chat received.
Okay, I am back. Of course, BFU Sensei would use the waifu command and go get a custom pillow. Am I right? Am I right? All right, Lewis, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me know what kind of music you want, pal.
We just want the big B's, what is you into? You ain't trying to hear it, it's okay though. All we know is gang and dinero. If you're trying to get it, then let's go, let's get it.
And remember, you can support my music on SoundCloud, Spotify, all major music platforms. I am everywhere around the world, people. So, come on in. Now, has anybody tried any of the new external components for Harris? Are any of them super good? If they are, let me know, because I really do want to try them. If you've got any recommendations. I, in fact, am probably going to try out the toxin dispersal one. That one looks cool. Let me see. Okay, this extra one I can delete. Chat can choose? Well, alright. If anyone in chat knows my songs and my music, and y'all want to choose something, you have a choice. Maybe. Pulsating power. This is the ideal one. I do have a hazmat one. It's non-ideal, but it's fine. Hazmat. Defense in gold. I can't say no to that. Something new. Damn. Alright. I already played the newest stuff, which is the heavy stuff, but sure. I can play some Cindervale. I love any excuse to play Cindervale. Equipment drop rate increase. You know what? I want more drop rate. But the toxin resistance one and max shield, I'll just remove the spare one. The other one I will keep. Okay. Furu Hazamatu. Welcome, Jordan. If you're new, welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit the bell button, set the notifications to all, and you'll be welcome among us. All right? I hope to see you at all my streams, not just my TFD streams. Remember, the more people that play my stuff, even if they're not interested, if you watch my live stream, well, not watch, but if you keep it on, even if you're not interested in the content, I'll be very grateful. So welcome among us. Okay, give me 1 second while I do the cores up for this. Let's go get hit points, shall we? Max HP, okay, beautiful. Let's get a gold roll, though. Gold roll. Gold roll. Gold roll. There we go, good boy, gold roll. Now, gold roll. Gold roll. Wrong gold roll. Defense gold roll. Defense gold roll. Come on. I'm manifesting it. Okay, defense blue roll. Blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Come on. And I've been using Plague on her because Plague works. But I also want to test out the others, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see if the Hazmat Disposal team will work better. But Plague, I don't disagree because that's what I was using before. Plague makes sense. You know? So I just want to see if I can push it. I want to see if I can push it to the max. I mean, the Plague set's a good set. Nothing wrong with that. It is certainly not a negative to be using the Plague set. But I do want to try at least the Hazmat Disposal. Just to see. I'm going to try it once. And if it fails miserably, then I will throw it away. With all due respect, guys, don't you worry, I'll come to my own conclusions and judgments. I mean, skill cost is not a bother for Harris. It might actually work, but I don't like the reduced defensive capabilities, at least in my personal opinion. But yeah, we could try that. It's something tryable. Sure. I can put that on the I guess I'll try it list. Plague is just really strong because good defensive capabilities, you know, strong overall offensive capabilities. So I don't see why it would be a negative, especially if you already have a way of getting base skill power on her. So it makes sense to me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't trust that at all because, well, you know why, Austin. But defense has nothing to do with the set. I'm more talking about the hit point count because the defense itself, every set's defense is more or less based on this anyway. The Plague set doesn't have any innate defense. It's all, if I remember, all hit points. So I wasn't really talking about that. But either way, like I said, I would rather differentiate myself from the bug abusers. Let them pull whatever number they want to pull. I don't believe that they can reach those numbers ever. And I will never believe that they could reach those numbers. Because they don't deserve those numbers. Well, that is only partially true, actually, because the damage reduction in this game that was worked out in the past by another trusted content creator, he's gone now, he doesn't play this anymore. But the way that defense works is that it's an exponential kind of thing. So unfortunately, even a billion defense may not actually help you that much because we don't know the actual steps to the exponents. But one thing which I'll say is that, for example, let's say the first step, say 10% reduction is at 4,000 defense. The next step of reduction, 20%, would be at 8,000. Then it's 16,000, right? So 16,000 for 30%, 32,000 for 40%, Then 64,000 for 50%. 60% reduction would be something like 128,000. Then you have to double that again, and you have to double that again. So we don't know, because we don't know what the actual steps are and how the exponents work for defense. Well, if you could truly, genuinely reach that all the time, then hey, sure. But because we know it's a temporary buff, and because we know that it may not always be possible to reach those numbers, especially when you can only hit one target, as based on this, the defense increase per entity is 15%. And the maximum defense increase amount, now we know that we can break through this 200% cap, easy, but you get 50% base, and then 15% per entity. And it actually appears to be per hit per entity. So you don't actually need all that many entities to reach there, but can you consistently have more than one target on screen or more than a couple of targets? Not always that easy. Hence my issue with just making a judgment on that. But either way, like I said, I'm going to go test this out once I get the chance. I want to go test out my Hazamatoset. You know what? While we wait for the wall crasher, I'm gonna just go in. I'm gonna just go in and do it. I'm gonna just go balls to the walls. Because that's what a real legend would do, right? I'm gonna go in, bro. I'm gonna go in. I'm going in, bro. Oh, wait. Shit. Nope. Damn it. I forgot to actually upgrade the components. Ah, well, whatever. Let's just see how I can do it. I forgot to upgrade the component options. I was like, wait a second. I've still got purple options. Whoops. But never mind. Nobody saw me forget that, okay? I'm too much of a legend to forget that. I'm just too legendary. And Lewis, I'll play you something new. Alright, right after we go through all this. Once we are through the shenanigans, I'll happily play you some of my new stuff. I'm thinking of playing some Cindervale stuff. Well, I mean, chat's pick was something new. And some people would not have heard the new Cindervale stuff, so that shall count as new. Whee!
I can take it.
I am well aware of that, BFU, yes. That's why I'm finishing this, to see if I can do it fast enough. It should be possible. Whee! Must make it in time.
All right, let's blast it to pieces. Destruction core.
Okay. I'm now living on borrowed time. Can I do this before Wall Crasher goes away? That's the challenge, people. That's the challenge. Let's go! That was my wall crasher alarm. Well, thanks, PR. But, well, look, one thing which I do have to tell you is that saying anything by race, you got to be careful on YouTube. They've got a policy against that kind of mention. So, just to avoid unintentional racism, you know, just call me robot and let's just leave race out of any discussion, all right? Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, as a YouTube partner, I have to uphold their policies. So just be aware of that. I'm just going to quickly remove those messages. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, made it. Now, 4 minutes 33. No real difference between the hazmat set and the other set. I'll test Slayer later. Okay. Now, let's go touch Wall Crasher gingerly with this exact same set and see what happens. Anyway, if I am your favorite robot though, please make sure you turn my notifications on YouTube on, alright? Just throw me on whenever you can, whenever I'm live streaming. It doesn't matter if you're watching or not. Just throw me on. 1 pixel sound, that's all I ask. No ad block, obviously. But yeah, you do that, I'll be very grateful. And those are my music links for anyone else that's interested. Please enjoy. I will see you later, Adam. I'll be playing you some new tunes right after the Wall Crasher fight. So let's go. Come on, Harris. I believe in you. I believe. Let's go. Let's go. The time has come and so have I. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's. Okay. 2, 1.
Attack! Attack!
Yay! I assisted all the weird Serenas in doing their damn job. Yeah, 275. Less than the Toxin set. But it's all good. Let's get out of here. Now, although there wasn't much difference for the farming, let me try with the Slayer set. And let's see what the final result is after I finally buff up this set. Lol, that Phantom Dash guy coming in to try and troll. If you really want to troll, you'll just be banned instantly, sir. No, don't even try to engage with that guy. And listen, that game has already been shut down. The only reason they're even doing this is literally to deliberately troll. This is one of those people that I told you guys about, the super, I hate using the word, but you know, those people that say hail, whatever. Yeah, they're the super racists. They lost their community. They lost their place to be racist toward the Asian people. So they just come here and they'll just ask about it, you know, because they just want a reaction. But for me, I just quickly ban them. You don't have to interact with them. If they're genuinely asking a question, right? They wouldn't put it in that way. They won't put it as no more of this. The ones that genuinely ask, you'll notice they have a different way of saying it. They'll say, I used to watch you doing this, because everybody knows that the game's already gone. Yeah, that game has long since been shut down. It's been completely removed. It was taken offline this year. Don't worry about it, OGHQ. If you don't know the game that I'm talking about, if you don't know the place that literally bred some of the most racist people on the planet, it's okay. You don't need to know. The less you know, the better. Just basically, it was the first game I ever made YouTube videos for, and due to that, my family, my mother received threats of physical violence. So yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't even bother naming it. And unfortunately, due to the fact that they hated me so much on that game, because much like with this game, I'm very in-your-face, truthful, authentic. I go pretty hard, and I called out their chosen creator all the time for buying his views, which he did constantly, and I explained as much on stream. And again, I can happily prove it once I get to 200 viewers on YouTube, considering the amount of revenue you can earn. I'll happily prove that he and several others buy their views. But the fact of the matter is that they got very upset at me proving this, or rather calling people out on this, that they went so far as to try and dox me, threaten my family. It was just horrendous. And Ibrahim, I asked the same question. I don't know why the devs listen to people complaining about difficulty. There's no point. Yeah, it's okay, OGHQ. It's all in the past. It's either way, like, there was nothing that those keyboard warriors could actually do to my family. But at the same time, when you receive death threats day in, day out, it gets pretty old. So I just quit the game. I left. I got partnered with other games. I started building my YouTube channel, and I'm just successful now. So it really upsets them that I actually became a success without their game, and after abandoning their game. And now that's been shut down, the racists just constantly come by here. They try and troll every now and again whenever they can afford credit card, or whenever they can afford to verify themselves with mommy's credentials so that they can create a new account on YouTube. Because most of these people, they've already been banned, or rather their copies of accounts have been banned like 6-7 times already. So they literally have to create and generate new emails, new addresses, new phone numbers. So yeah. So that's why you only see them occasionally. But in the distant past, long before this time, just a little bit of history lesson, we would get like 6 or 7 accounts that would troll us all at once. So that used to be the standard, but you know, they can't ever meet that standard anymore because they just don't have the resources to do so. Go drop rate MP modifier. Don't need this. Not too worried about the other sets. Okay, now I'm going to try the Slayer set. Let's try the Slayer set and see the difference. Because farming wise, the Hazmat is honest to God just as good. Actually, you know what? Sorry, for the sake of data, I should test the Hazmat one more time. After we test the Hazmat one more time, we'll swap to the Slayer set and we'll see the difference in clear time, whether or not it makes a significant difference. If it doesn't, then we can use either the Plague set, Hazmat set, or this one. It doesn't really matter. Yep, no problem. See you later, BFU. You have fun. All right, don't forget to keep my notifications on. Even if you don't watch, just keep the stream on or throw it on, yeah? Leave it at 1 pixel sound. You'd be helping me out for free a lot. So do consider it. Enjoy your other game with your son, but do consider just throwing my streams on when you can. I'd be very grateful if you do. I'm trying to get everybody to do that right now so that we can all benefit. You guys help me make rent literally for free. Okay, just by throwing my stream on whenever you can. And in return, I can do more. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, if you just leave my stream playing whenever I stream, it's all good. Please enjoy. You can literally, and I don't mind saying this for those that haven't heard my pitch yet. Look, you can literally watch other people and I won't care. All you have to do is just leave my stream playing with the sound on, ads on. And you do that for me. You do that for your homeboy. I will happily do those cash giveaways the second I can get to 200 viewers per stream, no matter what I'm streaming. Because that is more than enough revenue, not only to pay all my bills, but to literally give you guys free stuff as well. So consider that. This is still the hazmat set. It's not the Slayer set yet. So we'll see how well she does. So far, still seems to be making very good time. Oh shit, I haven't played the song for Lewis yet. Damn it. Sorry, I'll do it right after this run. Hell, I'll make up for it with a double bonus. I hate forgetting that stuff. But I shall make up for it with some extra bonus tunes right after this is done.
I can take it.
Phew. Somehow I do feel like the hazmat I do a little bit more. Maybe it's just placebo right here, but somehow I feel like I'm doing more damage with the hazmat. Weirdly enough. Maybe it's placebo. I have never personally used it, James Blonde. Love the name, by the way. But I couldn't give you a judgment on that. Sorry. I'd love to, but I cannot give a judgment on something I haven't used. And on a personal level, I've never used it. So if it does have a good use, I'm so sorry because I've never tried it. Okay, let's see the result. 444, so nothing too special. It's still within the normal bounds of what we're doing here anyway. No problem, James Blonde. Now, I'm going to swap over to the Slayer set, see if there's any vast differences, and at the same time, I'll be playing some music for Lewis and all the rest of the crowd who want to hear something new. If you like my stuff, well, you're about to hear some cool shit. Okay. Let's first put on my new set, the Slayer set. All right. All maxed out. Ready for the pain. All right, while we go in, here is a song called The Anchor is Ash. It's the daring conclusion of Cindervale's album.
Feel the tether fraying, the last chain that held me here. The signal is fading, replaced by the crushing fear. Cut the final line. Let the cinder veil consume. There is no going back now, except the empty tomb. The weight of the world is lifting, but the cost is far too steep. 1,000 fractured memories. I pray the ocean keep. The anchor is ash, scattered to the bitter when the wrench of blue is done. The only truth I find within, I am suspended in the void, forever unrealized, beyond shore we've Don't look for salvation. Don't try to find my trace. I live in the static now, an occupant of this place. The old self is gone, just a hollow imprint on the glass. A ghost of who I used to be, a moment that had to pass. Gone, the light is just a light. Only watch it die. The light is just a light. I only watch it die. The anchor is ash, scattered to the bitter when the ritual is done. The only truth I find within, I am suspended in the void, forever out of reach. Beyond shore we paint. Beyond shore we
Oh, it's definitely gonna be a good album, Cartabel. But first, I gotta release my boy band album. Well, my boy band EP. That one is for the ladies because the ladies haven't had a release in a long time. But once that is done, absolutely. Cindervale is next, and then my Viking stuff is coming right after. So it's gonna be good. All three sets offer roughly the same clear time. So whether you use Plague, Slayer, or Hazmat, I'd say it's all just about the same. You can choose whichever one makes you feel the most comfortable. But yeah, there is genuinely very little difference. The Hazmat set, the only thing is that it requires a bit of build up before you actually get your max power. The Plague set offers you pretty much the power right off the bat. The only thing is that the 10 seconds for acquiring a custom resource, but because she's permanently acquiring a custom resource, she should have no trouble. So if you ask me, my personal final judgment would be that Plague set, I think, at least, offers the most bang for the buck consistently. Because the Hazmat disposal set only offers you the bonus when you hit the 5 stacks. And that requires you to use your normal AoE. Now, once you have that, your power is pretty strong. But Plague set offers essentially the same thing constantly. And yeah, the forced execution, it can be maintained though. So it has a short build up and then you can maintain it essentially forever. But so can the Plague set. So yeah, they basically offered roughly the same stuff. No true difference, no significant difference anyway. So because most of y'all will have Keelan, no problem, George. Since most of y'all will have Keelan, I think the Plague set will suit her just fine. Although you might want to craft one specifically for her style. I'll take a look at it after stream. Now that this is done, the next step, this one is going to be renamed Farming. The Farming and the Harming. I think it might, but I don't remember what Freyna's skills are. I think hers are ground DOT. I don't think they're counted as normal AoE. You would need normal AoE to get that. Well, if you at least have the Plague set. Even if you never built Keelan, if you at least have the Plague set, you should be fine, Austin. As long as you've got the Plague set, you're good. If you don't have the Plague set, then you're ungood. Now then, let me see. Next is bossing. Okay. We start with well, first of all, actually, for bossing, if we use the focus supervision, this is now a piercing projectile. No longer gain defense here. So it's now just a concentrated beam. A concentrated beam. So I guess you could use wave eruption now. You can now erupt with some waves. Okay, so let's erupt with the waves. I think this is a good idea. we should erupt with all of our waves as much as possible. Okay, guys? You heard it here first. Incoming damage reduction is good. Mid-air maneuvering. Since these are all fusion skills, now let me also put on one that has additional attack versus Colossus. This is the original one I designed for Kiki of the Lindland. Now this one is for farming. Now here, Arche efficiency. Which one is Arche efficiency? This is the one. This is Jet Li is the one. Equip this here. Since I'm not doing anything based on defense, I can probably ignore most of this. Let me just double check. Is anything based on defense? No, it's based on max hit points instead. And I just get straight up damage reduction. So, okay. Okay. Yum, yum, yum.
New subscriber detected.
Chill. Chill priority. Okay. Yep, that's good enough for me. Alright. Now let's go bring our cooldowns down to the lowest possible. So we will need the usual thimble fingers and MP conversion. That's not a problem. Stim accelerante. Alright. Then comes the rest. So we'll use the focus on fusion. So that's pretty standard. Then we will use power increase, the same thing here. I don't need range. I do not need range, that's for sure. So since I don't need range, I just need even more cooldowns. I'll get one skill extension. We'll have Spear and Shield here, pretty standard. We'll also swap to Battle of Stamina. Then under the Arche Tuning, I'll take more hit points. I don't need more defense. And I'll just increase firearm, because why not? Or I could further decrease cooldowns. There's also that. But I think this should be fine. Based at least on what I'm thinking about. Nice. Congratulations on that, GT86. This is a good basis. It's an amplification. Don't think I will. Let me see if I can roll anything ultimate wise. There should be something new for Wave Eruption if I'm not wrong. It's this one, right? Oh, this one just increases skill critical hit rate and damage, which she doesn't use, but Bunny does. So, okay, that'll be for Bunny then. I'm assuming that's how they're getting to the so-called maximum criticals. Widespread execution. You know, I actually haven't tested this for the farming loadout. I really should. I really, really should. Oh, Glay, I think I have her ancestor module. I just haven't bothered rolling it yet. But Harris's I don't have, yeah. Breach Explorer. Aesthetics of Sharing. Battlefield Mad Bomber. Let me pump that up and see how far it'll go.
If all modules were the same, I'd be out of a job, right?
Stream is going just fine. I'm just testing my limits. 20% skill power. It's not bad. Okay. Now let's see. Chuck in a Venom Sync TM as well. Okay. This is pretty much as bossa nova as we're gonna get. Okay, let's do a loose test and see what happens.
Would you like to use the laboratory?
The ancestor modules will definitely change things for a lot of builds, but what I will say is that I am more or less shying away from them for now because they are a very, very annoying endgame system. And I don't feel that they're too necessary. I mean, they are necessary to reach the highest heights, but at the same time, for me personally, I'm just gonna build without them and just not care too much. Okay. The damage is not that high, unfortunately. Even if I use a focused laser, it's kind of cool, but it's not gonna reach like super heights. Let me try what'll happen if I put in the chill Synctium instead. The glacial Synctium, sorry. Just for fun. Okay. I'm not really seeing any like massive changes to the damage, so I'd say bossing wise, I don't see this as being too good. I think the natural laser cutter is actually better because
Leave it to the construction
whatever the hell is going on here, it's just not good enough for me. At least when it comes to trying to smack down a boss. The benefits don't feel worth it. This is tested on Lava Citadel. No, I don't want to use that Gabak. While I understand its purpose, I will refuse to use that playstyle. Because even if the devs approved it, this is not how we should be playing the game. Just because of wave eruption. No, I refuse that. Sorry. I will not do that. I think it is wrong, in fact, to do that. Because no matter what, the devs saying that, oh, you can just plonk any element in and use wave eruption, like, this is so wrong. Like, I don't like any game that breaks their own rules. So that has genuinely turned me off a lot of this, but it is what it is. Okay, let's have a look-see now. If I swap over to this, if we were to use a mostly tech-based reactor, this one we would have to use a mostly tech-based reactor with something like battering ram. Save. One second, fam. I'm pretty sure I have something like this. This will do to make up for the reactor not having that. Of course, I'll need a better one than this, but I'll worry about that later. I'll need a better tech-based reactor for bossing. Okay. And we have this. And now. Okay, let's focus on tech first. I don't have a module slot for that. God damn it. Okay. Probably also need a tech, and also need the tech amplification. Damn it. All right, never mind. Before I can finish testing that, I'll have to change my reactors. Maybe I will look for, aha. This one's good enough. Skill cooldown and that. All right. I can remove this, get that, get this, or maybe move that. Ah, got the defense. Okay, that works. Because either way, we're aiming for single target. Well, perfect chance to also test the widespread execution here. Let's go do a little more testing. First, I'll level her up so I can use another crystallization catalyst, so I can work out and see if the bossing style will be any different. But I'm satisfied so far with Harris as a... I mean, either way, I'm more excited for Haley to be a bosser than Harris. Okay. Let's use the last bit of our stream wisely. Let's go do some shenanigans. I'm gonna change this reactor over though. Back to my super awesome fusion reactor. Okay. Let's see the result versus intimidation release. And while we do, I think I shall play some more tracks of my own music. Please enjoy.
Bites me, a permanent imprint on my soul.
Not really.
always inside of me. The self-destruction is beautiful. Perfect entropy. I broke the dam, I let the ocean rise. Now I'm free. The glass is gone, there is nothing left to tether. This broken existence, we will live and die together. The chamber fills with smoke, the air is thick with dread. The tether is gone, there is only the descent now. The cinder veil is here, I accept the sacred vow. I shed the skin of hell.
Okay, I'll pause it there. A male band like Cinder Veil would be pretty difficult. It sounds beautiful because of the lady's voice. Having a male voice there, probably not the greatest plan. At least based on what I am thinking. Not to say that's totally impossible, but it would be quite difficult. Now, why is the cooldown on this so damn long? Either way, it would have been literally the same. Is it the range? Could be the range. Okay, anyway, back to the farming setup. The inversion reinforcer is still fine. Huh, why did my cooldowns feel so lengthy? Either way, yeah, this widespread execution, either it's causing some additional problem. I'm gonna try one more time because it was just awkward, but I think it will not do well, unfortunately. Even though I want it to, I don't think it will actually do well. Which is a shame. And sorry, I missed a statement earlier where Trem82 said, "Do you think the game has a future?" Nope. I'm just here to try and make as much money as I can, which is why I'm encouraging people to make sure that you hit the notification button. Okay? Come to all my streams, attend my streams, even if it's not a game you're interested in, because you never know, first of all, what you might discover. And second of all, if I move games, at least you'll move with me, you know? If you like me as a creator, turn those notifications on. Hell, you don't even have to watch me. Alright, but throw my streams on, help me out, and who knows, I might be able to show you some other great games as well. That'll be pretty fantastic. Of course, the choice is yours. I can't force anyone, but it's something to consider at least. I think the intimidation release really does create quite a difference damage-wise. thing is struggling so hard right now.
This is for the construction floor.
But Cardival, if you don't mind me asking, just out of curiosity, why do you want it to be a male band? The whole point of Cindervale and the whole point of metal like that is that, you know, the female singer is what makes it beautiful. So I'm just curious, you got something against female singers or something like that? Why must it be male? Why do you want a male voice?
Attack! Attack!
Because male voices, they tend to do more heavy stuff to begin with. So I'm just curious, like, what made you even think of this? You very sure about that, Cardival? I don't know. Might have to judge you a little bit. But yeah, I'm just curious, like, what is your mindset in thinking this? I want to understand. Mostly so I can make fun of you, but, you know, at the same time, if I understand it, I might be able to fulfill your desire at a later time. So tell me, what's going through your brain? What is the fact? I don't think Harris has a cooldown problem, at least for a farming loadout, but she is almost 100% reliant on the passive. That's number one. The other thing would be that she also, at least in my opinion, she's also very reliant on the AoE nature of Intimidation Release, because that one is pretty strong and solid. Like, the additional AoE from that is a part of what makes her kit so strong. Personal preference, huh? Nah. If you cannot explain it well, Cardival, then it means you're sexist. You just don't like female vocals. That's the truth. How sad, Cardival. Cardival is now officially sexist. Got no choice, bro. You gotta accept the title. Yeah, she's never gotten stuck in the ground for me at all, Hyperion. So a lot of people have mentioned this, but it's never happened to me. So what I can recommend you do is whenever she gets stuck in the ground, you can try and like take a little video and show the devs. That might be the best way to get yourself sorted, because she has never been stuck in the ground even once. I don't know how many of my streams you've tuned into or how much of my streams you've watched, but if you've seen my streams, I've literally never gotten stuck with Harris. No, you know, Lewis, I think he doesn't understand what he wants. And I think I actually know what he's trying to talk about, but he himself may not understand it, is what I'm thinking. I think what Cardival is thinking mentally is that he wants something that would be similar to Bad Omens. If any of you have know that band, I think that's what he wants. I think that would be the sound he desires. I mean, look, I can run her again, no problem. But yeah, no, she never gets stuck in the ground. See, the widespread execution, I kind of like that, but just not good enough, you know? Just not good enough. Whereas Intimidation Release, This thing spreads the AoE nicely. And also ups the amount of damage dealt. So far, this has caused her damage to skyrocket. Bad Omens, they do some good songs. But if you'd like, Hyperion, I can run through and show you. Also, ZLX Phenom, I hope you're doing well. But anyway, while we roll, please enjoy more Cindervale from me. I think I feel like playing the original Obsidian Coil. Y'all ready?
I can feel the tightening, the obsidian coil, a crushing pressure buried deep beneath the soil. The script is written, fate is a dead algorithm in my head. I am the architect of the walls that leave me bled. Everything I touch turns to dust and static. Trapped in a loop, mechanical already. The current pulls me down into the frozen just one breath of air before I dive again. A fleeting ghost of honor, escaping the bitter rain. But the cinder veil descends, and all the light is denied. No peace inside. Rioting, the pulse is silent and rough. You say unstable, never I was. Never enough. I chew on glass and metal to feel something real again. The silence is a prison built for the souls of men. Rigid and barrier, I am the void gate open. The scar we ever is here. My existence is broken. Just one breath of air before I dive again. A fleeting ghost of honor, escaping the bitter rain. But the cinder veil descends, and all the light is denied. No peace inside.
My farming music's always perfect. Spirit Box would probably be the closest vibe to what I've got.
Target in sight. My shield is
You are supposed to play her at this pace because your cooldowns cannot keep up. If you're playing her faster or you're spamming skills, not only will you be causing yourself problems, but you won't be maintaining her passive, which lowers her overall damage. So if you're getting stuck from a desync, I don't think that that's the case. Because that was basically under 5. I can still do 4 minutes 30 if I'm just chilling and not worrying about the music in the background, things like that. So if you are getting stuck, what you do is you just take a video, send it to the devs, show them that you are getting stuck. Because for me personally, I have never gotten stuck with Harris, even playing, you know, even playing with a faster time. So, but in general, you also want to not rush too much because her cooldowns and also the maintenance of her passive is much more important. Also, the only thing that I'll say about Sleep Token is that I like Sleep Token's the sound that they have, but I don't know why I genuinely hate the music that they make. Like, I find it so lame. I don't know why, but it I don't know if it's the lyrics. I don't know what it is about it. I like the voice, but God, I hate the songs that they make. It felt so boring. Going good, Mo. About to end stream soon. Got like 20 minutes left. To be honest, Ines looks like the type to get stuck. No offense intended. I'm just saying, alright? She looks like the type to get stuck. There's the other guy. Oh god, I actually remember Paramore.
Target in sight. Shield down. Shields down.
Also, Cardivel, there is no clarification, okay? You just have to accept now that you are permanently sexist. There's no such thing as clarification, brother.
Damn.
Okay. Intimidation release. Yep. I think it still is the best, unfortunately. No matter what else we do here, this definitely gives the best bang for buck. The rest is fine. It's not a big deal. But I think I'll have to try and see if the other setup can work for bossing. Because the beam is just too weak. Way too weak. And then no good overall. Wait, what? Okay. Well. It's a good thing I never listen to most other music these days, only my own. Although I draw from other experiences as a reference, but yes, okay. Sorry, but I have a thing where I won't listen to any band that identifies themselves as a Christian rock band. The second they identify themselves as that, I'm like, nope. No, 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 no. They can keep their religion out of my music. Not saying religion can't be in music, but keep religion out of music. 'Cause I enjoy references to hell and the devil as much as any other guy, but the second I see that, like, I didn't know when I was younger that Skillet was a Christian band. Like, once I found that out, I was like, man, your music's so good, but are you serious? So I straight up just stopped listening to them. And there's so many out there, you know? They make good stuff, but once that becomes a factor, I'm like, nope. You identify yourself as that, I don't identify with you. Yep. For real. Even if their songs do not directly reference religion, as long as the undertone is there, I won't listen to it. I refuse to listen to it outright. Music should be about an artist's passion, about the things, about the human factor that influences them. Once it becomes influenced by what they feel is a religious thing, I'm like, nope. It'd be even worse, like, it'd be just as bad, I guess, if I were to do nothing but put Buddhist references, you know, even metaphorically, in the songs and music that I do. Like, that, I think, cannot be. You can reference heaven, devil, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I myself do. But once the core of your music is no longer your experience or the artist's experience, but rather about their faith and an expression solely of their faith, I'm like, nope, no thank you. Might be a personal little pet peeve, but yeah. Funnily enough, I'm not actually against religious music. Like, if music is designed specifically as religious music, I don't mind it either. I actually don't mind. Although I won't listen to it actively, I don't mind praise and worship music. I guess to clarify what I personally don't like is that what I don't like is when people try to disguise, I guess, like they've got these great songs, but then they say, oh, the influence, the basis of it is all my faith, religion, God. I'm like, nope. If you're gonna do that to me, you're gonna try and pull the wool over my eyes, you know, and say that you made this great song and it's all due to this influence. I'm like, it doesn't matter how great your music is, I won't listen to it. Like, I don't want music disguised, you know, as a way of spreading faith. If your music is specifically designed for faith, i.e. praise and worship type music, by all means. I'm not against that, you know? Hell, I'll even listen to it. May not like it, but I'll listen to it. But once you try and disguise your music in a way like, I just feel it's inauthentic. It's dishonest. For me, music, maybe it's my hip-hop roots, but music has always been about a very authentic, real, personal experience. It is about the artist's experience, their life, what they've gone through. You know, it's all about that, and it should be all about that. But I cannot stand music that disguises the idea of religion. You know, I will literally stay away from it. If you want your music to be about religion, you make religious music, go for it. But don't try and make a metal song, don't try and make a rock song and disguise it to be all about your religion, your faith. If it's not about you, if it's not about your experience, I don't want to hear it. You know, that's how I feel about music, because that's what music should be. When I rap, when I write about my raps, when I write about like the songs that mean something to me, you know, it's coming from my heart. It's coming from inside me. You know, I've talked about my lyrics before. Hey, J-Stars. I've talked about my lyrics before, but in fact, okay, here's a song. One of the songs that I made is The Abyssal Redemption. All right. Although I wasn't able to bring Our Lady Sov into V5 properly, I will still give it another go at a later time. But one of my favorite songs by them, and the song that I wrote, was The Abyssal Redemption. Literally, the first line in the song is, down from heaven's height, fall from grace, falling through eternal night, tears burn my face, longing for the light of endless day, when we danced upon the stars, I lost my way. There are a ton of what you might say is Christian religious references in there. But the meaning of the song, I'm not going to tell you that it was inspired by faith or inspired by, God. I feel that that is disingenuous, dishonest. What I will tell you is that when I was writing this song, it was my thoughts about the time, and I've shared my experience as a streamer. It was about the time, when before my proper streaming journey on YouTube, when I was caught up with all the, I guess you could say, the flash and the fame of being a top streamer. Everybody recognized me. My stream quality was shit, and yet I was still pulling 600 viewers on that one platform, all due to networking, all due to everybody supporting me and just throwing their viewers at me and stuff like that, and it wasn't real. So that entire song is actually a metaphor for my entire journey there, which is why the chorus literally states, "Wretched fallen one, rot in darkness for all time, in your treachery undone, here you will dwell, betrayed by your own kind," other streamers, "exiled from your home," when Mixer went down, "forever cursed to roam, the abyssal redemption." It was literally the redemption, my redemption arc was coming to YouTube after all that. So I write based on my life experiences and things I've gone through. So when a person just says that, the song was made with God in their hearts or whatever, I'm like, no, thank you. Sorry. You can either make praise and worship music or you can make real music, but don't try and mix the two, and you stay out of my damn genres, all right? You stay away from my genres, you stay away from me. Okay? Be honest. Like, I feel that music must be about honesty. So I don't like it when people disguise things. And listen, Baron, like, you can have your own taste, and if you happen to like that stuff, that's fine. Like, and there's nothing wrong with band members being Christian. I mean, I'm Buddhist. Having a religion is not wrong. Like I said, the only thing I'm against, and it might be a little weird, maybe it's just my personal issue, but I just don't like when somebody disguises their music in a way whereby they're not even referencing themselves. They're just doing something to, I guess, appeal to their listeners, and then the core of it is not themselves, but rather faith, religion, or they consulted the Bible and said, hey, you know what, this story is really good, let me make a song based off this idea. It loses the authenticity for me, which I guess, I guess some people might think me weird because I personally do it the opposite way around. Like, my songs that I've written for most of the metal bands are very heavy on references to religion, mythology, things like that, But the core basis, I guess, is my reality, and the desire to express what I was feeling at the time, But anyway, that's my little music rant / music pet peeve, So that's why, like, the very second I find out that the band is or classifies themselves as a Christian rock band, even though their music is not praise and worship, and more importantly that their music deals with other things, I'm like, yeah. Listen, you can, like I said, you can like what you like, and more importantly, I have nothing against that as long as you're not trying to, like you said, you don't turn your shows into sermons, and more importantly, you don't put your messages of conversion, faith, this kind of thing in your music. Don't do that. If you're gonna do that, do praise and worship music. Don't try and get into a different genre and try to subvert the genre into your ideology. No thank you. I'll stay away from that, I guess, yes, sorry, that crystallizes it. That says it better. I don't like it when they try to use it as a tool for subvert the music itself into a tool for their faith. I don't want the music to be a tool for faith. Music is about freedom. It is about expression of the self, And funnily enough, you know, that might draw more comparisons to other types of, shall we say, non-mainstream religions than the mainstream ones. But again, just to clarify, I have nothing against religion. I'm religious myself, Buddhist, and literally I'm making a Viking metal album, which most of y'all are enjoying, that has authentic references to Norse mythology. It's literally about Ragnarok. So, you know, I have nothing against religion. I just don't want music to be used as a vehicle, as a tool, or rather, I don't want genres of music converted into a tool to push it, to push faith. When there is a specific genre for it, it's called praise and worship. You can do that kind of music, but leave my other genres alone, you know? Funnily enough, just a little bit of a lore tidbit, you know, while we're winding down at the end of stream. Did you know that the new generation in India, there's a new generation of musicians, Gen Z mostly, that is doing like this type of now India is a highly religious spiritual place, and a lot of Hindu music or Indian music has a lot of references to the Hindu religion, their gods, and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a specific type of music. Their type of praise and worship music is called bhajan. This is music about the gods, you know, mythology, all that kind of stuff. And the Gen Z now is to try and take that, but do it with like the younger generation's modern music and energy. And I'm just like, this is as bad as it is literally as bad as some Christian rock. And I'm just like, please don't, please don't. Play either one genre of music. Don't try and fusion this shit. See you later, Lewis. That's exactly the problem that I have, Baron. It feels like they're posing. It feels disingenuous, and it feels like they're just trying to milk two cows at once. You know, they're trying to milk the faith angle, and they're trying to milk the music angle. What FOV am I using? I can check for you. I'm pretty sure I'm on default, but I'll just double check. Here. Oh, I'm at 105. So that's what I'm using right now. 105. But anyway, I think that is enough of our music conversation. Now, ladies and gents, we have come to the end of stream, and I don't know why when you jump in town, it still causes this weird-ass stutter. I tell you, TFD really has a lot of optimization to do. No problem, Paul Rage. Anyway, I will now be heading off, ladies and gents, so I hope you guys have had a good time. All right, the patch should be tomorrow in the morning. Let me just check on that, because I might play some TFD in the morning. Yeah, I'll play TFD in the morning just to look out for the patch, because I think it's going to be an interesting one to see. All right. I can imagine that it's unbearable on console because it's unbearable right here, right now. You know, I ain't into that, but it is what it is. All right. Thank you, ladies and gents. You guys have been a wonderful audience. I appreciate everybody that has hung out. Please make sure you hit the notification bell button. Make sure you tune in to all of my streams. All right. Even if you can't make it, you can't watch, it's totally okay. Just leave the sound at 1 pixel. Leave the stream playing. Hell, you can watch other people. You can play your own games. You can do whatever you want. But if you leave my streams on and just leave the sound on as well, it would be a big help to me. All right, so thank you very much to everybody doing that. Thank you to everyone who turns my notifications on. I'll see you guys on the next stream. All right, I hope you guys had fun today. Let me do my little outro, and let me give you a little round of applause there as well, yeah? Okay, that's another fantastic night of Harris testing done. We have finished off our Arche Tuning. We tested out a couple of different modules. I think I have solidified her build for farming. So that build will be released tomorrow. Okay, of course, we're not using her ancestor module because I don't have one right now, but any recommendations to improve the build other than an ancestor module will be welcome. So those of you looking for my Harris build, I'll drop it tomorrow. Okay, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to turn my notifications on, like I said, and I'll catch you live again tomorrow. Okay, as always, stay efficient, Descendants, and I'll see you in the morning. Y'all have a good one. Catch ya.